It's still November 7th, 2025. Officer Mark, Officer John, where Carl's son Rick got in our mobile home, admitted he had notes, personal notes between me and Carl. I went and looked, they were gone. Okay. Even said something about that big TV I bought him. Oh, he don't need it. Isn't it something that he thinks he's so superior, he's God? He can decide what. See, they think Carl's worthless. That his life is worthless. That they deserve everything he's got, and he deserves nothing. It's satanic, the way they treat him, and pure evil. That he's beneath human. He's been so mistreated. He told me his late wife, Brenda, would have her 3 children, including Deb, her grown daughter, beat on Carl while she watched. And then go up and French kiss him while he sat there froze, and then warned him to be quiet. They beat on that man, and he's only 5'3", 135 pounds, and beat on him like that. They're sick, satanic people. And that's sexual abuse, physical abuse, psychological abuse, and physical abuse. They need to be arrested for elderly abuse. That's 15 years federal. Like Sheriff Cox said in Tuscarawas County, that family's already under investigation for stalking and harassing. And when I told her what she did after the court hearing, it said, why didn't your attorney go get a deputy, and why wasn't she arrested for assault? It's actually sexual assault. She had no right coming up and doing that. I said, he just sat there frozen. Carl's like, she gave me thrush. My face started swelling the next day, and within 3 days I was in the hospital. It was all over my mouth. I've never had such a thing in my life. She's a heavy smoker, and where they get that white stuff all over their tongue and stuff, it's thrush. Dead skin cells building up and causing infection. And he's a diabetic, so he has hardly any immune system. Makes me sick. The way and disgusting, satanic way of them feeding into Rick, his son, and that Michelle and Will announcing they wanted that land. September 30th, 25. About 1 o'clock in the morning, I get woke up to motorcycles outside my clients yelling. The guys running it said no one's allowed to say a word to her again in her life. This whole thing is your family's debt to drug dealers. Is that what's going on? Yes. Okay. And if I knock on that door, will she know who you are? No, I don't want her to know. She doesn't even know who you are. No, and I don't want her to know. And you had her skull bashed in, her raped and tortured because your family was in debt to drug dealers? Yes, I'm sorry. I listened to her and her friend Matt talk January 13th, 23, how the Ohio drug dealers were threatening that agent's life for letting those people be human trafficked, and it was your family letting them to be human trafficked? Yes, I'm sorry. And your family human trafficked people because you were in debt to drug dealers? Yes, I'm sorry. I listened to September of 23, where the original cartel admitted they photoshopped everything. Did you know that? Yes. And where they confronted her ex-husband that if he knew it was a medication error that made her sick before, medical malpractice and fraud, and it's wrote up that way, and they encouraged them to sue those doctors for years. Did you know that? Yes. I'm sorry. And you're the one that told her new husband's family they can bash his head in, kidnap him, and take him out to Youngstown and have him found incompetent and have everything signed over to them. And if they had something set up in Youngstown doing something like that, it's ruined because you told, I know, but I wanted that land. I'm sorry. She's not sorry. Okay? Now, with them inciting Rick, Michelle was with the Florida drug cartel, Judge Peters group at Faith Family Church, you know that. Well, with them getting in my apartment, That Rick has my social because my tax ID was in with those papers. He had no right to pop our lock and to get in there. He had no right going through my things. And we're 2 weeks ago, should be today, in the evening, it's supposed to be Agent John, okay, around midnight, okay. Found out that idiot's trying to get my case thrown out across from the drug cartel. He said, I already told that idiot I wouldn't arrest him for what he did to her if he turned over all his drug connections to me. And I tell people that I didn't care what happened to her. That's a federal crime, Agent John. You can't turn a victim over to a drug dealer to get them. It's right on Google. It's a federal crime. And what do you mean they have medical records they took? I thought she kept all those papers to prove the medical fraud. I did. He took some of my medical records from my home right on Google. It's a 10-year federal sentence. You arrested him, right? See, they can never have my medical records. Anybody with them, it's a 10-year federal sentence. See where Michelle confessed on March 27th, 25 to an undercover agent that the doctor from before was never one of mine, works for them, and they had lied. Well, of course they did. No doctor of mine could ever be with them. It's a 10-year federal sentence. They can't talk about you without your consent. They can't look up your medical records without your signed consent and your ID. They can never share it with anybody else. That's 10 years. These are federal laws that are strict. Okay? And when they bashed in my head, they try to leave me incompetent or kill me, and it didn't work. He had got it out of Dave that a girlfriend from before me made him marry me so that she could have free insurance, and he could give her extra money. And he got it out of that family that lost their kid in that traffic accident of why would you say it offended you? She had nothing to do with that accident, and it was 6 months later. They said they just lied. So people would help out. It didn't even concern them. Her father killed her kid. He was supposed to go find you, Agent John. April 17th, 25, Michelle's in Sheets parking lot in Hartville. Big government SUVs are driving around, and when she walks up to a blue Bronco, they stop. Said, I talked to the police up there. Now, how dumb is she to talk to the police and confess to a police her crimes? They said, how dumb was I to tell that guy that the doctor from before was never one of hers. He works for them, and they had lied. He was one of my doctors. She actually don't know who he is. And when they bashed in my head, they tried to kill me or leave me incompetent. It didn't work. And soon as she told him, he broke up with her, and she really liked him and how she wanted to get married. And she was screaming in the parking lot. Those SUVs stopped. Showed up April 19th, 25 at Hartville Flea Market. How dumb are these people? And trying this with us. She calls the FBI hotline. They immediately walk into an FBI office and admit they're illegally monitoring her on their own. They can't do that. That's a federal crime. Cyber stalking, illegal monitoring, felony invasion of privacy at 7 to 15 years. There's no such thing as special permission. And trust me, nobody ever fell for the dirty doctor scam. HIPAA violations. Then it sounded mechanical, and we knew it wasn't her, it was them. And nobody found for the tape of Weird With Yourself. We knew it was photoshopped or showering in the other room. But if they were going to try this, be this dumb and try this with us. Now, they called you dumb. And they've already admitted this whole thing is a scam from Bill from the Freemasons. May 25th, 25, up in Summit Mall in Hollisters. Kids were laughing about Bill from the Freemasons' big scam, having some guy go in and drug her up and tell her to say that. And then take a video of showering and washing yourself and putting that in the other room, and then ran a scam off of it to see who could steal her money. Scammed everybody and helping out. May 26, 25. Walmart 62, they come in, and we heard they're laughing at Bill from the Freemason scam of the dirty doctor not being one of hers works for them, and they had lied up in Summit Mall, and the whole thing's a scam from Bill from the Freemasons. May 30th, 25, the Louisville police show up at 1 o'clock with the lady, and how she thought she was going to trick Dixie and Melissa into putting their name on this and was going to get them arrested. And I wouldn't be there to help them. Well, I turned that bitch into the Department of, well, actually, the FBI, the sheriffs, and a bunch of other people. Okay? Entrapment is a federal crime in itself when law enforcement tricks you into committing a crime you wouldn't do on yourself. And then how she thought I was dumb and I didn't know surveillance laws, and she thought she could trick me out of money. Extortion is illegal, sweetheart. And the police cruiser, the officer was outside and said, well, she said the investigators found May 26, 25, that in Walmart 62, the cartel admitted this whole thing is a scam from Bill from the Freemason of the dirty doctor not being one of hers works for them, and they lied. The whole thing is a scam. I didn't think of that. And they said they found the original case. It said her ex-husband hired 2 men on his own. One said he was an attorney, so it made it legal. No, it didn't. It makes it worse than legal. Exactly. Right on Google, if attorney sets up button cameras in your home, they are to be disbarred and criminally charged. If an attorney has their doctor friend pull your medical records, the same thing. They both lose their license and then criminally charge and consume both. See, that's where I told you if that Rick stole where I had that medical fraud records, and he actually has them, you are to arrest him by federal law, 10 years. It's right on Google. And Officer John and Officer Mark, I had my taxes in there. He has my social. Carl and I actually, we wouldn't have to move anywhere. We just need new IDs and new socials. You know, Sheriff Cox in Tuscarawas County told me to get my husband out of there, run and hide, and never let his family know where they live again. That family's under investigation for stalking and harassing, and when I told her what Deb did, she said that's assault and a deputy should have arrested her that day. And with them getting in your apartment, bragging that they're doing it. See, the day that Rick shows up, either with those medical records or he shows up with any of those notes, he's even bragged he got in our checking account. We had to switch our checking account. That, They wouldn't be able to find us with new names and new IDs. Only thing they want to do is rob him blind and destroy him. He's a sweetheart. Absolute sweetheart. And he deserves to live his life around people that love him and care for him and that aren't trying to rob him blind and just throw him away. It's sick and disgusting what these people are doing. And Officer Mark and Officer John, you need to arrest Agent John for stealing where Michael Peterson was bragging he was smuggling oil into the United States. And I got that he had been dealing with Trackosomia, bill of sale for the oil, the letter of allegation, large money transfers. Well, you guys were already recording. And then I sent it in. And that where he was staying when he was leaving, that even the state where they were bringing the was buying the smuggled oil, the port where it's coming in. And last I found out, the government turned off his credit cards for being in Venezuela, because I reported them to everyone. When the lady investigator said they called down and asked about Michael Peterson's shipment because we have sanctions against him, they said it wasn't legit. And where he had text that he was paying people off to get the paperwork through, that they'd investigate Trackosami, and 50 other people were arrested. I turned them in 21. There was a $10 million reward. And Agent John has stolen probably close to $500,000 on top of it. So $10,500,000. He's not the first agent, maybe the biggest amount somebody stole. But every month he gets my money. Him and his girlfriend. Like they said, nobody finds it funny when they shows up and find out who they're actually stealing for, and it's that agent's girlfriend, and even little kids were calling her fat. I'm going to go ahead and upload this, but we do need IDs, and I do need my money. And you need to arrest Agent John. It's right on Google. You cannot turn a victim back over to a drug dealer to get a drug dealer. It is a federal crime. Him breaking that outside. Oh, people were complaining in Walmart the next day. They all heard him. They've been complaining everywhere about that agent. And like Walter Moss said, Karen, you don't realize you can never get out of the witness protection program. You'll be in immunity for life. Get the money for the rest of your life. And until the FBI puts you in another witness protection program, you'll stay on informant for life. You're not only in a informant case, but a threat and attempt to life case. And you will be in protected custody the rest of your life. You'll be in immunity for the rest of your life for working this case, and you get the money for the risking your life for the government to get them information on these people. And until they put you in another witness protection program, you'll stay on informant for life. They cannot drop you. And these people could always hire someone else to kill you. You could never get out. I'm going to upload this.